Hey everybody, this is Auntie, and let's get into Love After Lockup, Love After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 17. Child, they was playing with fire. Let's get into it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my listening reviews. All in all, who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old Auntie Advice.
Oh my God. We have got to get into this episode. It was so much going on. I have wrote notes and I left them downstairs. And I'm sitting up here saying, Auntie, you're going to have to remember all of this stuff. Thank y'all for being here. I am sorry I am late. Of course, you all know that I was in New York for Fashion Week, but I am so happy to be back, and I'm happy for my experience. Okay. I see that we got a new member. Hold on, let me click on it. How do I get to it? There you go. Hello, it's Bernard. You've been with me forever. Hi, boo. Welcome to the membership. You all, if you have not already done so, please welcome Lost but not found to the membership. Welcome to the family. Welcome, boo. I don't know why I thought that you were already with us. You may have been. I don't know why I thought you were already a member of Auntie's Advice. But welcome, boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm not new. I'm prepaid. Okay. Okay. How about that? Okay. They doing prepaid memberships? I missed you too, DM 2023. I missed you all. Y'all, let's get into this crazy episode of Life After Lockup. Child, this was a mess right here. Let me bring these mofos up so we can talk about them. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. So the first couple that I want to talk about is Will and Courtney. This was, this was just the inevitable, right? We knew that this was happening. Girlfriend been out here dating men and women and getting her paper the best way that she know how to get it. Okay. Okay. So of course we all know that Will, has flown to Portland so that he can, get her to sign divorce papers that he doesn't even need her to sign. And, we had saw her in the last couple of episodes kind of contemplating whether or not she was going to go through with this or she wasn't going to go through with it, right? So this is going to be a long video because I'm combining them together, okay? All right. So she decided to finally just sign the divorce papers and be done with the relationship. And so Will is acting as if, Courtney is really going to be affected by this, that she is not signing the divorce papers because, she still wants to be with him. But Courtney has not wanted to be with him, I believe, from the beginning. I think that, I think that the two of them both have motives for marrying one another. I think that Will wanted to get off of the sugar daddy list. And so he wanted to be the first one to what he thought was a prize. And I think that Courtney was, went with Will because she felt like Will had money and everything. And so, of course, we saw her when she went to the pawn shop to go and pawn her ring and found out that it was worth $6.99, honey, plus tax. And so, anyway, she has decided to sign the paperwork. We see her, Will saying that, if she doesn't sign, she has 24 hours to sign the paperwork. And if she does not sign it, he's going to get the court to compel her to sign it. I think that that is the reason why Courtney actually signed it and did not give him as much pushback as she probably would have had he not thrown the law in her face. Because of course we all know she don't want to be caught up with the law anymore. Okay. Thank you so much, Lost but not found, for the 199 super chat. Where's Toothless and Ruthless to cuddle her? Okay, she's somewhere. So Courtney decides to get somebody to, take her to go and meet with Will. She is standing outside and she's waiting on Will to come. And so, of course, Will shows up and everything, and he's nasty off the brickety break. She takes the ring, the fake ring, and she puts it in mud, and she puts it inside of the divorce papers, or in between the folds of the divorce paper, because of course she wants him to believe that it's poo poo that is on it, right? She doesn't want to be with Will because when she really needed him, he was out of her life. Now, there has been, a lot of people who have believed that Will did the right thing. I was one of those people who did not believe he did the right thing. I believe that he should have given her, at least one more chance. Everybody makes mistakes. She was straight out of jail. And she basically told him, what did you expect from me? Right? I'm a drug addict. I've been in trouble all my life. I've never known what it is to not be in trouble. And so, it was very easy for her to fall back into old habits. And I do believe that he abandoned her. And I think she should have got him on the pandemic. Right? So, I mean, he is mad at her because she's been with this guy, Mark. And I noticed that even in all of Will's arguments, it's about another man, and it's not so much about Courtney falling off track and using drugs again. His whole thing has been, it's raining, y'all. So I have my dogs up here, and I have one dog that is very scared of rain. And so if you see me turning my head and stuff, that's why, because she just took that big, huge body, 50 some pound body, and squoze it up underneath my chaise lounge. So I'm just hoping she don't hurt herself. But anyway, so if you see me turning, that's why I'm turning, right? But anyway, I digress. And so, I just really believe that he abandoned her in her time of trouble, and then got mad because although he wasn't a resource, she had other resources. And so the two of them are sitting down together after she gets the divorce papers and everything. And he said, oh, I see it got poop on it, but I'm sure he realized very quickly that it wasn't poop. And so, she told him that, he was acting like a bee. He told her she can go out there and cheat. And then he said, oh, as a matter of fact, you don't have to cheat because now you're free. And she was like, why would I stay with somebody who doesn't support me and gave up on me? And I totally agree with her. I totally agree with her. The thing about it is, in life, you never know what's going to make you slip and fall. There are many of us who are like, I would never put my hands or my mouth, my legs, my arms, or nothing like that in the hands of some drugs. But I'm telling you right now, you don't know what people's breaking points are. And I think that sometimes as human beings, we don't know what our breaking point is. But anyway, so, Courtney told him that he's a bee. He sat up there and tried to have a conversation and told the producers that he was not going to talk to her, but he did. And, he said, I'm glad that we did it this way. We got a chance to be mad at each other. Now we can move on. And she said, you know what, Will, I'm not mad at you. You are who you are. And I really respected that out of her, because he is not the kind of guy that's going to stick in there. And I think that he was just focused on her being with other men. And I know, for men, a lot of men, they don't, they'll cheat, but they don't want their woman to cheat, right? And so I understand where Will is coming from as well. But I think that, the two of them have made an agreement that they never should have gotten married from the Jump Street. The next couple that I want to talk about is Troy and Zariah. What that is going on with his storyline? They don't have no storyline. How does Zariah Okay, it's so much to unpack here. So Troy is in Buffalo to collect his father's ashes and to hold a memorial where he's asked everyone to wear blue. The memorial is half baked, it appears, because nobody knows anything about it. And he's calling people at the last minute to invite them to a memorial for a man that Troy says he loves, for a man that Troy says he respects. And Zariah did not know. Like, get this guy storyline together. Like, this mess is not making sense at all. It's like they hodgepodge through something together. So he is saying that he wants to see Lil Troy. That's the only thing he wants to see. He basically was about to cuss his sister out when she told him, you need to make sure that you work everything out with the baby mama. You got to work stuff out with her because she's a custodial parent. She held it down while you were incarcerated. He calls the little girl on the phone and he's talking to the little girl and he's like, tell your mama. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, Auntie, you've got to stay calm. He gets on the phone with the little girl. And you can tell people that don't know about children in their hearts. Because there are certain things that you don't say to little children, especially when you are in disagreement and don't have a relationship like you should with the baby mama. So last time we seen these was on screen, he was trying to make it seem like him and Zariah that the girl wanted him, that she wanted to be with him. Don't seem like that now. It seemed like she's moved on with her life after that altercation that they had downtown to the park where he was like, where the baby at, and running up on her car, and she out there telling him, look, if we're going to parent this little girl, then we need to put some boundaries in place. We need to put some rules in place. Is Troy paying child support for him to believe that he has all these indemnable rights to this baby? I don't understand. Where's the child support payment? Was it coming from the jail $199 a month? Was this coming from the jail at $1.99 a month? Because how in the do you think that you got parental rights? Zariah down there with her girlfriend, telling her girlfriend we may need to let the judge figure this out. Where's the child support money? Where's the love and the support that he is giving to this child? And he gonna bring his up out of jail with somebody that's bipolar, act like she's schizophrenic, always going off, has an unstable environment, in my opinion. But you think because you got a little house that you rent or buying, I don't know, ain't none of my business. But now you think that you parent worthy? I wonder what will come up if they pull Zariah's background on who really took care of the little boy, because somebody said something happened to him under her watch. And you got the audacity to be sitting up there talking about we trying to get full custody, but we don't want to. What the full custody off of what? When? Who? Where? How? Unless that girl's life is completely reckless, the courts are not going to take that baby out of her mother's home. She been holding this all down for you while you were incarcerated, and you think that you will come in there and get parental control and parental rights over a baby you barely know, over a baby you left at the train station last season? Remember? You think that all of that is not admissible in court? It's admissible in court. everything that the mother has said, everything that the sister has said, everything that people have uncovered is admissible in court. And you think that you are going to be the one who's going to be granted full custody of a child that you don't even know. So what, you bribe a pocketbook? So what, you pick her up for a cookout every now and then? So what, you spend time with her? You're not custodial parent worthy in my eye. I would never grant the two of them. They argue too much. Whether they sit up there and tell the judge that they acting or not, it's too reckless of an environment. They up and down, and then they smoke weed. Like, you know what? I know it's illegal, but certain things you shouldn't be doing. And where's Zariah's son? Where's her son? He is unstable than a mother. He at the sister's house going off banging his fist on a table because he doesn't have the maturity level, in my opinion, to call a baby mama and say, let's put up the white flag. Whatever it is that you want me to do, I'm going to do because I want to be with my baby. Don't sit up here in our faces and play games, reindeer games with us. Like you can be a full custodian over somebody's daggone child when that woman been taking care of that baby. Like we sit up here, like we boo-boo the fool, and we don't know what's really going on. Like, come on, like, are you serious with this? They talk a whole lot of stuff. And here's the thing. At the end of the episode, and I know I'm skipping around, but I got to say it while my old mind thinking. At the end of the episode, she says she's getting ready to go down there and meet with Troy to discuss something that is about to change their lives. I believe what she's about to discuss with him is that she's pregnant herself. But wasn't she drinking with the girlfriend? What's the timing on that? Admissible in court. It's admissible. Were you drinking and pregnant? Because if next episode or the episode after that, she says she's pregnant, I know she was drinking with the girlfriend. Because the girlfriend made sure she said something about the wine glass. I'm sorry, what? He can't even hold a good conversation with the baby mother. This was the first time that he held a decent conversation and told her he was down on her knees, but I could have sworn he was standing up. But when he talked to the little baby, and I'm going to tell you right now, you go to family court, judges don't like for parents to say little side stuff like that to the kids. He's telling her, tell your mama you want to stay with me. No, let her desire. Excuse me. Let it be her idea. Let her ask, Daddy, can I come stay with you? You don't tell her to tell her mama that you want to stay. Let it be the will of the child. Children know how to ask for what they want. Let an ice cream truck pull up. They know exactly what they want. And they know exactly what they don't want. And then he's going to sit there and tell the child. Because, see, he wouldn't want nobody to do this to him. And the thing about it is, he's continuously going over his past, what he dealt with in his past. He needs to get healed from that so that he does not transfer all that negativity into his daughter. Now, he has accused his mother all season, all last season, about not being a good mother, not being there for them. Him, how his childhood was unstable. Him and the brother and all the brothers. But yet and still, you think that you got the wherewithal to be a custodial parent over a child when you sitting up there telling the child, and I've been wanting you too, so you make sure that goes on the record. You mother, what? Make sure that go on the record. I don't want nobody be saying I didn't ask for you. You don't put a child. See, you playing the child. That's manipulation in my opinion, and that's control, and you don't do that. I done had a child. I've been a single mother. I know how that should go. And unless you nip that in the beginning, let me tell you, my daughter, baby daddy knew. Don't you ever say nothing to my baby behind my back about me, you, or me and you. She's a child, and she can only manage at her level. Let her play with her Barbies. We're not doing that. I never had a problem. One time I nipped that in the bud so daggone. You don't put nothing in her mind that she ain't already thinking. And if she's thinking it, we're adults. So she brings it up, and I feel like it's a conversation that I need to have with you and her. Or if it's a conversation that we need to have, just me and you, and figure out how to, best practices and then that's what we're going to do. But what you're not going to do is tell her something in her ear and have her looking at me. Because most of the time, children don't share stuff because it's above their thinking. They don't know how to process adults. They don't know how to process mommy and daddy ain't together, but they co-parenting. He ain't even co-parenting. Where's the child support? Flash that up on Facebook. Well, sit there and say something like that to a child. And then down the mother and talk about the mother. And all them daggone Facebooks, all them Facebook lives would be admissible in court. And you wouldn't have an ice cube chance in hell to get that little girl just based off of let's just take Love After Lockup out of it. Just off your Facebook lives. The way that you have talked about your mother and disrespected your mother and called your mother all kinds of, whether she was right, wrong, or indifferent, just the way you treated your mother. The likelihood of you getting your baby is slim to none. The things that you have said about that child's mother on Facebook Live. Okay. She had a boyfriend too. Don't she? He's unstable in my opinion. And like I said, if you've ever been in family court, you'd be surprised at how a judge, 8 times out of 10, is going to award custody to their mama because they don't want to shake up the baby's life. And if you ain't shown any type of parental support, you're lucky your name not down at the Department of Motor Vehicles. You're lucky you ain't working with somebody that'll ride your for every dime that you did not pay. That would have had you on child support while you was in jail and had you come up out that with arrears coming up out the yang that you would never be able to catch up with. And he need to get over his mommy issues because I'm sick of him talking about that too. Here it is, this man sits up here and I have been listening to him and I've been sitting back. Y'all know I've been standing down. But here you going to sit up here and talk about how much you love your daddy, but you wait to the last minute to tell even your wife that you down there collecting ashes. She's telling her girlfriend the brother got lost, but I think something else is going on. Why don't your wife know what's going on? And we have seen her go off. JW, you missing the whole point. I see your comment down there, but you missing the whole point. He's been out of jail and making income. And how do we know if she filed for child support or not? They ain't telling all their business. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Half of us in the comment section. Been there, done that. Everybody's cases look different. And I ain't fussing with you. I'm just saying, I see your comments because they coming like that. But he don't have no rights to nothing. He is coming up out of jail. And he gonna come up out of jail and take a child out of the only home they've known? What judge would do that? What has she done that he can prove that she done that makes her an unfit mother? So let me turn these comments off. I'm going to turn the comments off temporarily because I need to focus on my review and what I'm talking about out here. Okay. No, no harm to JW or nothing like that. We know each other and stuff. But it's the audacity. It's the ignorance for me to think that Zariah could sit there and say something like that. And people think they on the come up. But your past dictates your future. Not your future dictates your past. And I'm sure we all got some horror stories that we can tell. It's like the storyline is not together. It's wishy-washy than a month. We don't know what's going on in the daggone story. It was the brother lost. Zariah said the brother was lost. We thought the brother was lost, but then we see him talk about ashes. What's the storyline? So now they get married. Now she's down there trying on wedding dresses. And if Troy don't cry at the dress when she come down there, she don't want it. Well, what's she gonna do? Return it after he come? She tried out. What's going on? This storyline is not making sense to me at all. Like at all. It's all over the place. He calls Quiana and tells her, I really want to see the baby. I want to be in the baby life. Woo. I apologize for the way that I acted up and all of that. And guess what? When he's talked like he has some sense, guess what she said? Okay. Because for the most part, women don't try to keep their babies from their baby daddy unless they just trifling this shit. Most of us, we will work with our baby daddies. I know I work with mine. I damn sure did. And for the most part, that's what we want because we want our baby to be raised up with their father. They're always talking about how black children are not in the home. Daddies are not in the home. And unfortunately, that is true for some people. I'm one of those people. I decided I didn't want to be in a relationship no more, and I bounced about that camp. And I don't feel no ways tired for it, and I don't feel regretful about it or nothing. It just was what it was. But every time he wanted to see that baby, he saw, and guess what he did? He paid child support. And you know what? Because we was two mature, grown ass adults, we went down there together. We didn't have to go before a magistrate. We didn't have to go before a judge. We worked that out. Was he brokenhearted? Yeah, he was brokenhearted. But I didn't have it to do. Because there were certain things that I wasn't going to raise my baby seeing or hearing from either of us. And so I felt like the best thing for me to do was get the fuck out of Dodge and continue to have a good relationship with him. Let me let these dogs out. Hold on. Okay. I'm back, y'all. So I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, like I said, we all got our stories. I can share my story if y'all want me to share my story. I've shared it several times, but we all got stories. But he is unstable. So now he calls Zariah and tells Zariah, I need you. She said, okay, so I'm supposed to put everything down that I'm doing, swallow everything that I'm chewing, and come down there where you at. And now I'm supposed to play your game when you didn't even want to tell me why you was leaving out the motherfucking house. What kind of is that? And then we find out he going to get ashes. What the? So she gonna be there for her man, but she think that something else is going on. And we all know what was said out there on the Facebook, downtown to the Facebook. So we ain't even gonna play that game. Let me poll y'all real quick. Hold on, then we gonna move on. I'm gonna ask y'all, because maybe I'm wrong. There's a poll. We'll let the people talk. Let me go to the next couple. Hold on, y'all. The next couple I want to talk about is I don't know why Bianca is desperate for this man. Y'all, Daniel ain't got jack going on. He is coming home and playing video games, and by day he's drinking, and halfway going to a store, a moving company. And he has the audacity to tell Bianca she ain't the one. Like, you know what? I ain't got it to do tonight. I ain't got it to play around. I ain't got it. Now she's stupid because after he had told me that he didn't want me, I wouldn't have asked him why. Matter of fact, he wouldn't even have had a chance to tell me he did not want me because I would have already called and had him evicted out the apartment. He'd have been up out of that camp and his name would have been removed off the lease. Or I would have left him. But no, she's staying up in there because her pride is in the way, and she's stupid. And sometimes when you make sacrifices for people, you don't know how to let it go. Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. Let me see what y'all saying on the poll. Should Troy get custody of her daughter? 56 votes. I usually wait for 50 votes. We got 56 votes. So I'm up 57 votes. Look like y'all still voting. Are y'all still voting? Okay, so let's end the poll at 57 votes. And let's see what the results of, because maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Should Troy get custody of his daughter? 94% of y'all said no, while 5% of y'all said yes. And that was out of 57 votes. I'm putting it down in the chat. Bianca is sitting up here with Daniel, who don't care nothing about her. And every time he gets an opportunity to tear that poor little ting down, he does. He treats this girl like the bottom of his shoe. And I'm going to tell you, when you on purpose treat people like this, you don't have no good luck in your life. None. 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 This man is living off this girl. She's sitting up there talking about me and Daniel gonna have a meeting where we're gonna discuss our relationship. She's thinking that there's hope for this relationship when Daniel is done. Everything that Daniel needed, he got from Bianca. He got her to spend her money to buy him all the things he wanted. He got her to allow him to co-sign on a lease. He got her to leave Florida, okay, to come up there and be with him so that he wouldn't have to stay in a month and a halfway house. She tells her that he don't want her. She said, well, you don't know me. You didn't know me when I had my accident and how much I've changed. He said, the person that I do know, Bianca, I don't like her. And I ain't going to marry you. And I don't want to marry you. Why? He just told you why. She knows that the best thing for her is to pick up a cut to it. Sometimes you just got to count something a loss. Sometimes you just got to count it a loss. I was a fool. What that song say? Everybody plays a fool. Sometimes there's no exception to the rule. Everybody at one time in their life have been a fool for someone or something until you wake up. Bianca, you thought that you were going to reinvent your life, and that she told him, you was telling me when you were in jail that you wanted to be with me, and you were going to, we had even picked out baby names. And he said, well, that's what I thought, but I still didn't know you. And now after I done live with you, and you don't have no incentive to do anything. And I'm afraid to say he's absolutely right. We have not seen Bianca get a job yet. Where the fuck is the job? Where's the job? Where's the volunteer service? What is she doing other than sitting in a room being dark and depressed? with no pictures, nothing on the wall. The place, all she got is a bed, a pillow, some flat sheets, a fitted sheet, and she got a comforter and a blanket. She's done nothing since she's been with Daniel. She hasn't even taken a class. She ain't even volunteering at a center. She's doing nothing with her life. And even though Daniel is low down to the ground, he doing more than she is. He gets to the restaurant. She said, "Are you going to drink?" You damn right. He said, "I'm an alcoholic and an addict." She said, "I don't even feel like I want to eat. I just want to have this conversation with you that's going to go nowhere. Because he is done, tied, and through. And so am I. So am I." Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm on one tonight. JW, I hope I didn't offend you, baby. You know I love you. I hope I didn't offend you. Okay? And if I did offend you, I want to publicly apologize to you because I wasn't picking on you. I just saw the comment and I just was responding to the comment. But sometimes, when I be like on the hype, it has seemed like, I'm coming at you, but I wasn't. I love you, baby. Okay? I love you, baby. So JK got teeth. JK got teeth in his mouth. He said he got a job. He said that he ain't seen Alex in a while. And everything is cool in the game with him and Brooke. And I'm sitting up here saying they deserve each other. This month, say he dodged a bullet when she said she wasn't pregnant. He's out there strung out on drugs and hanging with Alex at Alex's house. The house with the bolts and the cipher locks on the bedroom doors. And he's desirable. He decides that he's going to take Brooke out to a park in the neighborhood. Because he said that his feelings towards Brooke changed when he saw how she was affected when she wasn't pregnant. And that dropped his guards down. But what is he doing? I'm going to say this because it's on my mind to say. Y'all know I ain't never cut no cards with y'all and I ain't going to start. I just ain't going to start. You will only allow somebody to treat you at what you see as your worth. Because if you think that you're going to take me around a corner to a corner park with some locks and a Popeye's chicken. Now, if we just meeting up after work real quick and let's stop real quick and get something to eat. But when you thinking about doing something special for Auntie, it better not be in no neighborhood park. Unless you got Earth, Wind, and Fire down there getting ready to serenade us. With all kinds of lights and chandeliers and because I can do it for myself. You ain't going to treat me beneath what I feel like I'm worth and what I can do for myself. Now, here Brooke is saying she's 32 years old and can't believe that she's an Uber driver, that she makes her money off of Uber. Let me tell you, honey, there's a lot of people make a lot of money off of Uber. It ain't not Uber and Lyft and all of them share drivers. It ain't nothing wrong with that. You make your money the way you make your money as long as it's honest money and it ain't got no bodies on the money. But as long as you going out there, you working a hard-earned salary, you just as valuable as a billionaire because you are investing back into yourself and you doing the best that you can where you at. Don't ever despise the day of small beginnings, or don't despise the days of when you fall down. You may fall down and you ain't got nothing no more. You may have been all the way up here and then you come down here. But Brooke, you down here and you staying down here because you was working for your mother and you're running behind some peen and Kurt worrying about whether or not he's at Alex's house. You walk away from your job. The rumor downtown to the street is you done had 6 jobs. In less than a year. We don't see you take care of your babies. But you want JK to take care of them. The Brooke sits here and tells her mother that she need JK to help. She got a man now. She said that now, since he got his teeth, she ain't got to be kissing a rot mouth. Who's kissing a rot mouth? Why would you even think? She want JK to give her the money. She don't feel like she need to be doing all of that, right? Because now she got a man with a job. The mama say the man want to go and stay over there downtown on the airbed in his mama's house, then rather than sleep with you. I wonder why. You're so nasty. Brooke is nasty. Or should I say broke? How can you expect somebody to do something you ain't doing yourself? And then you knew he was a liar and you knew he was a drug addict. But you require him to act like he's some guy, you know what I'm saying? So her and her mother are out there worrying about Alex. You think that I have ever been in a relationship and worried about another woman? Mm-mm. Because if I think it and I suspect it or I know it, I'm out. I don't have time to be competing with somebody for what? Because if he'll cheat on me with you, he'll cheat on you and somebody else. And then he will have nothing. Everything he got is on borrowed time. And he meets her up at the park and they talking about the relationship, that everything is going, going good. He asked her, what is it that you would like for me to change, Brooke? If you could take a magic wand and change anything about me or have me to do something different, what would it be? You know what Brooke did? You know what Brooke said? I don't want Alex around your father and your family. Instead of saying, I want you to get a decent job. I want you to get something that's reliable, dependable. I want you to get out your mother's house. I want that to be a goal for you within the next couple of months. To get up off your mother's bed, sitting in the middle of the living room floor in her good living room, where she can't even have company, and her husband can't sit up there and talk. I need you to develop and get a bank account. And then I need you to start establishing some credit so that in the future, in the near future, we can start to build on that. I need you to get a life insurance policy on your. I need you to take better care of yourself. I need you to go and get a full physical workup, a full blood workup, and everything else. That's what I need you to do. I need you to spend more time possibly educating yourself or looking at, other careers or entrepreneurship, because a job may not last for you too much longer. You got a lot of wear and tear. I need you to make sure that you bring me a drug test. All that she could have asked him for. I need you to step up for my children. And I need you, if you can't be consistent in their lives, then I need you and I to talk about you walking away. Because I don't want my children to have someone who has abandoned them in the past. All of that stuff she could have said to him, any of it. I'm sure y'all got a list of things that she could have asked him when he said, what do you want me to do better? She says, I want your Alex to stop hanging with your family. Why is Alex on your tongue, on your brain? Your father talks to Alex, and she's always on his Facebook, and she is talking to your father. No, I don't know the father. I don't reach out to the father. I don't do any of that stuff, right? No matter when I was 13, and here I am 32 years old. And I'm wondering how to separate Alex. He said, look, my father rolled different. He a grown man. Who in the gonna tell somebody's parent or tell somebody get their parent an ultimatum when you don't even respect JK mama, JK stepdaddy in their house, and so now you want access to the daddy so you can go over to the daddy house and act a fool and cuss and call people all kinds of. Girl, you crazy? Is you crazy? All the stuff she could have asked this man for. He said, Alex ain't even an issue. She not an issue. I mean, why you worrying about Alex? Because, I'm saying, that's what's going to be help us, because we got to deal with the girl. You ain't got to deal with Alex. If you know who Alex is, you got to trust your man. But see, here's the thing. Your man is introducing the snake. He's petting it. He's feeding it. He's laying down hay for it to slide around. He got a little glass aquarium for that snake. And he entertains it, and he cleans up behind it, and he makes sure it gets all kinds of little rats and mouse to eat at night. And he makes sure that when the skin sheds, he cleans that up too. That's on your man. They don't know on Alex. And you don't tell his parents what to do. It may work down at his mama house. You down there cooking that woman food, but girl, y'all, I should have cut this video out. Y'all see how I be talking? JK don't run his daddy. He don't run his daddy. And you ain't running the daddy either. If you don't get the fuck out of here. All she could think about is Alex. Because Alex is true competition for you. And she said, I think that the stuff that they said about her miscarrying JK's baby is some bullshit. Okay. But you sitting over there telling your mother, I don't want my kids around her. And how you going to sit up there and curse around your mother like that? She talked to her mother like some chick out in the street. Housewife, windswife. Housewife, windswife. Anybody got that much to do? Love you too, Dot. Love you too, boo. Ain't nobody got that to do. She knew when this man said that he was going to be there for them children. She knew he wasn't. Brooke knew that. Brooke ain't stupid to the game. Are you fucking kidding me? So here we go with the bull crap with her. He goes over to the father's house and tells the, talking to the father, don't help the father with the work that he doing. And wants to talk about the father's relationship with Alex. The father said she was going out there visiting him at jail for a whole year. As a matter of fact, she was also down here taking care of us. And when I need her and I need somebody to talk to on them long road nights when I'm out on the truck, she there. And so I'm there for her. He said, Dad, do you like Brooke? He said, I don't know. I don't know the girl. I met the girl when she was 13 years old. But guess what? Relationships are reciprocal. He who has a friend must show himself friendly. Ain't nobody gonna be walking around there kissing Brooks. She trying to put her kids in the thing. He don't care nothing about your children. Didn't he prove that? Ain't that what you and your mother's whole conversation was for? And then instead of the mother correcting her, she lets her go. I don't want that be around my kids. Okay. First of all, don't get comfortable cursing. Mm-mm. You, my child, don't get comfortable with that. Because don't get comfortable. She cussed around her mother like she at a bar. And they having a cussing contest. But the mother has allowed that. So his father told him, he said, do you like Brooke? He was like, I don't think about her. I don't know her enough to like her. But did you hear the news about Alex? Have you seen, when was the last time you seen Alex? He said, it's been a minute. What's going on? He said, you ain't seen her? She pregnant. So now he got to sit out there with production and confess that he has been with Alex. Moreover, now he needs his father to hit him up when he talked to Alex because he need to go down there and find out whether or not that's his baby. What an idiot. But a freaking idiot. Last but certainly not least. You just go ahead and let that sit right there for a little bit. Ladies, you just go ahead and sit that right there. Sit that right there. Joella was on the porch with her grandmother. Joella said that her grandmother raised her. I don't know where Joella missed it at, but I'm going to tell you that little old woman has some wisdom for her granddaughter. And she straight told Joella the truth. He gonna do you and he gonna do her. He think you stupid. He think she's stupid. And he gonna be with any one of y'all anytime he feel like he want to because he got two stupid women that let him do it. She said, well, they was mad at me. The stepmother came all up in my grill and everything, saying that, I was jealous and all of this because I didn't want her at at the birthday party. The grandmother said, look, let me tell you something, honey. You should have let her come. You should have let her roll right up in there. Because that would have let her know, girl, I ain't stunting you. I'm done with him. But as long as you let him come knock on your door and lay up in your bed, Joella, that's what he gonna do. Now, the only thing that the grandma didn't say was, I taught you better than this. That's the only thing the grandmother ain't say. She said, well, I feel like she don't want me nowhere, so I shouldn't want her anywhere. The grandmother was like, girl, bye. Let her come. You be the bigger person. You show her. I ain't mad at you, girl. I ain't studying off you. You can come to the party. And the thing about it is, I ain't even got to have no side piece or no other man there to fake like I got a man or to let you know that I do got a man on the side. It ain't just be me and you could be all over him, bunned up on him and everything. The grandmother said, you need to get over him, honey, because he going to keep on doing it. He going to keep coming back as long as you let him come back. That's his job. Meantime and in between time, his daddy asked him, is you with that girl? I mean, it ain't none of my business, but you my business. I just want to know. Are you messing? Have you been sleeping with Joella? No, I ain't slept with Joella. He knows how to answer a question without answering a question because that didn't answer the question. I didn't ask you, are you sleeping? I said, have you been sleeping with Joella? In the past, yesterday, last week, 2 months ago, have you been sleeping with her? He knew exactly what the father said, but see, he's a criminal mind. So he knows how to answer just enough not to interrogate himself. That's just his little way of pleading the fifth. By giving you just enough to make you think that he answered. But I'm going to tell you right now, Kiana is good on board because she says she's sick to her stomach about how nonchalant this motherfucker is and how he has not been defending her. She said, I'm starting to see some things about him. I'm about to see how nonchalant he don't care. She said, he ain't in my side. He ain't on my back. He did this. Ain't doing nothing. I'm out here drowning on my own. So the daddy come pick. Oh, and then the other woman, the stepmother over there talking to Kiana and saying, girl, let me tell you, it ain't worth it. The father told him, it ain't nothing worth your freedom. He told his son, he said, let me tell you something, Demondrick. He's a demon, in my opinion. You don't do this kind of stuff. You said you want the family. You need to buckle down. But he has, in my opinion, a criminal mind. And if he can get away with he is. But you know what the thing about stuff like that? All that stuff catch up with you. Just like Joella said, everybody gonna get their day. Everybody gonna get their karma. It's coming around. Kiana knows he's sleeping with her. The daddy and the stepmother know. But I hate how they piling up on Joella. And maybe she is jealous. Maybe she is doing something with the intent of causing harm or trying to break them up. Maybe she just might be doing that. But Demondre deserve it. Because she got receipts that he been over downtown to the house. So she's riding. Kiana is driving down to the lawyer's office. She said, I ain't never been in no lawyer's office. I ain't never been in no problems in my life. Except for trying to help this son of a bitch. and he's cheating and don't care nothing about her. That's a heartless man when you just don't care. And that is what is gnawing at her stomach, because her sixth sense that women got, okay, I know everybody got a sixth sense, but women got just a different kind of sixth sense that will tell you, girl, I'm trying to tell you, this guy ain't about nothing. He playing it out you. And that stuff will gnaw at you and gnaw at you. You won't even sleep at night. Remember the other day, when a couple of episodes ago, when she got up and she said, what time did you get in here? She know. She know that. She know. She knows she didn't slash them chives. But she been asking all the right questions because her sixth sense told her to ask him, why would you give her $600? Did you do it? Why do you want the $600 to be paid so it can go away? You want it to go away for you. Because I'm telling y'all, and I told y'all last week that I felt like Demondrick did this shit. Wrote on the back of her car and slashed her tires. Because one thing about women, if we sugar a tank or cut a tire, we cutting off four of them. So you can't use nothing. And that Snicker bar that I had it conveniently in the back of my, you know what? I ain't even gonna go there. Women do things different. And what we not gonna do is take something washable and put it on your car. You're going to have to replace that whole window, and you're going to have to take it down to them show enough body shops to get somebody to razor blade that off. Because when we do something to your car, I bust the windows out your car. We ain't going to half step on what we going to do. And we going to make sure we got our homegirls with us. So a couple of things to be fucked up on the car. You know when a woman been there on a car. And I think when Kiana say she didn't do it, she didn't do it. Now, whether or not she knew about this is another thing. So she goes down there with the pops. Pops tell her going up in there. She go up in the lawyer office. He ready for her. He fresh out of law school. He started his little private practice. Tell her get you a little something to drink. Do what you gotta do, boo boo. Sit in the law, we be right there with you. He came up in there. She's sitting up there on the edge of her mouth can see. He said, you. She was like, what's going on? He said, yeah. So yeah, you got some charges pressed on you. For misdemeanor vandalism. Okay, you tearing up people. She said, what's a misdemeanor? He said, well, let me put it like this. A felony, that's prison. A misdemeanor for some $165, 65, 75, rounded up to 800. That's going to just put you like in, little jail, county jail. She was like, oh my God. He was like, but I ain't finished. Because they got a little warrant out for your ass. She was like, wait a minute, what? A warrant? What? Like, well, who? My name? Like, my name on it? Like, Kiana, how is it spelled? Is it spelled with a K or a Q? Is it Keona? Kiana? Or is it like, what is it? It's Qui? He said, yeah, it's a Q joint. You got a warrant out. She said, over an allegation. He said, yeah, because if the police think that they got enough information to really charge you, because y'all know it's all about money and stuff like that, collection, NBA, all that stuff. That stuff's about money. Okay. Pay this $45. Pay this. Okay. Well, you know the system. You know the system. And anyway, I digress. We talk about that today. He said, yeah, they felt like if they feel like they got enough information based on what was given to them, then yeah, they're going to go ahead and do a full-fledged warrant on you. She couldn't believe that. She was like, this is unbelievable. Man, they was sitting up there talking to her and said, Kiana, talking to Kiana about the thing. Kiana said, man, y'all playing with me. Y'all ain't going to play with me. This is my life. Yeah, it's your life. But you sleeping with the enemy. And you don't even know that you're sleeping with the enemy. But then again, your sixth sense is telling you you're sleeping with the enemy. Oh, you sleeping with the devil himself. Because he over there now at Jawela's, while you sitting down there finding out that if you even bump on a curb wrong, if you park by a fire hydrant, if you even so much make a left turn without a blinker on, if you get any kind of infraction, get pulled over for anything, you going to jail. Over an accusation. But what they weren't banking on is that Kiana had the little ring bell. Every time that Demondrick was taking his Demondrick over there, he was on a ring bell. Now it was a little blurry, but he was on a ring bell, bitch. And it wasn't Avon that was calling. You sleeping with the enemy. That's exactly who you sleeping with, the enemy. He said, well, no, we could do, you can go down there and get you a quick bail. You know what I'm saying? Quick. She was like, what's that? He said, well, you go down there and everything, you go hit on and get yourself booked in and everything and bail yourself out. You be out within the day. She was like, for what? I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. She said, I ain't do nothing. Really? Are you sure, boo? Are you sure? You didn't do anything. Let's poll the audience. Every week until we find out, we're going to poll. Did Here we go. Poll for y'all. Did it go? Where's the poll? I don't see the poll. There you go. Did Demondrick damage the car? Doom, 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 doom. Did he all? Did he damage that car? Because when he was standing down there with the boys, he was talking all the trash. And y'all remember, she had already at this point had a conversation with Grandma Mom. And grandmama walked her up. She said, it's some things that be going on with that D though. I be trying to be strong. I be trying to save my own life. But it's something about when he bring that D around and I get some of that D, it make everything all right. But at the same time, when he was out there with them little boys, she said, I need to show you something. So, look, I need you to look at this. He looking at the beam footage. It's him walking back and forth in the front of her house. He said, what this supposed to prove? She said, well, me and you was arguing. We was arguing, remember? And you left my house. And then you came back. And then you left. And then you came back again and I let you in. He said, the only thing this proves is that I was at your house. But guess what, y'all? The po-po, or it gotta be some beam footage. Where was Kiana? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they not gonna do that unless they really think they got something. They put a warrant out for her for $750. Now I'm gonna ask y'all one more question. Hold on, let me get this one. And I'm gonna ask y'all one more question. 68% of y'all, okay? 68% of y'all voted. Did DeMondrick damage the car? 88% of y'all said yes, while 11% of y'all said no. And that was 68 people. But let me ask y'all this. Let's ask this question. Let's ask this. I just want to see what y'all think. Let's see what y'all think about this one. Did DeMondrick... No, wait a minute. Hold on. That's the old one. Where the poll? Why the poll so slow today? Did DeMondrick... Okay, where's the poll? Where's the poll? Hold on, y'all. I know I sent it. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Did the poll come up? Nope. Let me try it again. Oh, is this it? So 50-50. 50-50 out of 46 votes. The question was, did DeMondrick and Kiana damage the car together? Y'all are at a 46 votes and y'all are tight as tight can be. I think there was only one other time that the poll was this close, and it was 50-49. And y'all see. So now it's not. So let's see. Some more votes came in. Okay, hold on. Let's see. When I looked at it, it said 50-50, but here's the final vote. Did DeMondrick and Kiana damage the car together? 53% of y'all said no, while 40% of y'all said yeah. Some might that car up. And DeMondrick just looks very guilty. And I'm wondering and thinking, this is just my thoughts, y'all. She picked the wrong person. Yeah, her car got up, but I think she picked the wrong one out the group. I absolutely think, in my humble opinion, based on my assessment and what I've seen so far, Demondrick, in my opinion, up that car. I think they got into a show enough heated argument. I feel like, she was withholding her, the poontang. And, she had, in his opinion, probably crossed some lines and said some things. And he went out there and called her a dump right on her car. Right on her car. Anyway, y'all, I thank y'all so much for hanging out here with me tonight. Um, Again, if I offended JW, I apologize. It was nothing, I didn't mean to be, sharp with you or anything like that, right? So I apologize. I know that she hasn't been in the chat, but we all good, boo. I love you. Still the same, and I hope you still love me. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you so much to Lost But Not Found. Lost But Found, for being a new member and for your $1.99 super chat. I appreciate y'all. Happy watching. I'm hoping if you in the car or wherever you are that you enjoy this long video. And this is why I be cutting them up, because y'all know I can run my mouth when it comes down to some love after lockup. I love y'all. Bye.